we're set to go with the PowerPoint.
It's over right here.
Energy. Energy. That's what makes cars go. 50 years ago in the movie The Graduate, magic word was plastics. Today, the magic word is energy. How many of you know what's under that veneer of your car that makes your car go down the road? How many of you care? That couple, all right. Vehicle efficiency has gotten somewhat better in the last 2 to 3 decades. What I'm going to do today is give you a brief on 3 different systems of propulsion for cars. They're going to be the internal combustion engine, electric vehicles, and hybrid vehicles. I'm going to start with the internal combustion system. That's the one that's been around the longest.
Turn it off.
Started off with Mr. Ford way back when. You start off by putting some fuel in the fuel tank, mix that fuel with a little air in the chambers of your engine, a little spark, and all of a sudden you have some fire. Turns the engine, it goes through the gearing in your transmission, couples it to the wheels, and down the road you go. What's our advantages of this? One, that technology, as I said, has been around for a long time. It's proven. The efficiency has gotten quite a bit better over the years, and fuel is still relatively available. So you need some gas, you go down to your local gas station, fill it up. Disadvantages. With the climate issue, vehicles are a prime contributor to greenhouse gases and all the issues we're having with our climate these days. Fuel prices are going which direction? As a general rule, yeah, they're going up, so it's costing you more money. We are using those limited fossil fuels. When we're out of them, we're out of them. So we have to keep finding new ways and new materials. Next, I'm going to talk about electric vehicles. Again, electric vehicles, like the old internal combustion engines, have been around for a long time. Instead of an engine, you have an electric motor set up. Somehow you have to take a charger, charge the battery, goes to the electric motor. Motor drives the drive shaft to the wheels. This is the first vehicle. Notice, first electric vehicle. Notice that all those arrows are pointing in only one direction, from the battery to the wheels. Now, let me jump one step ahead and talk about hybrid vehicles. What is a hybrid? It's a mixture of more than one thing. So in a hybrid vehicle, you have both an engine, and it can be fossil fuel, it can be hydrogen cells, whatever you want it to be, but it's some sort of an engine that will supply power from an onboard container. It drives a generator, which then charges the battery, which powers your motor through the transmission and out to the wheels. The early electric vehicles, they came up with one about the time Thomas Edison came up with his light bulb. You didn't have these double arrows in here. Again, like the internal combustion engine, it was one way. Everything started from your power, energy, ended up at the wheels. In your new vehicles, new electric as well as your new hybrid vehicles, you've got this two-way arrow right here. It's called regenerative braking. If you're going down a hill, you step on the brakes. Now the wheels are driving the transmission. Transmission causes that motor to turn. the motor now becomes a generator and supplies energy back to the battery. About a year ago, my wife and I got a hybrid vehicle, and it's fun going down the road and watching your miles that you have left before refilling actually going up instead of down. So it does work, and it saves quite a bit of money. Advantages of the hybrid. One, again, depending on the fuel for your engine, you may not have to use fossil fuels. You can get good mileage out of them. One disadvantage, or some disadvantages, you have sort of a limited range on these things when you, excuse me, on just a straight electric. On this one, on your hybrids, when the battery is depleted, what happens? The engine kicks in and you can keep going. Range on our vehicle is about 500 miles. The range on my behind is only about 300. So I can go a long time. All right, some disadvantages of the hybrids, or the electrics for that matter. How big is that battery? They're pretty good size. What do you think a handful of these batteries are going to weigh? They weigh quite a bit. So you're going to lose some of your cargo space in a hybrid or an electric vehicle, and it increases the weight quite a bit. What have the manufacturers done about that weight? Well, they've gotten ingenious. They can use materials other than steel. A lot of your door panels now in the hybrids are aluminum. So it decreases the weight there where it was added with the batteries. One more, an offshoot from the, well, to back up here, other types of hybrids. Now instead of having just a battery that drives a generator, we have what we call a parallel configuration. This is what we have in ours. You've got your battery and a motor, so that's the electric motor. So if your battery's charged up, drives the motor, drives the transmission, and the wheels. Now, let's say you're going down the road and you start running low on battery power, then the engine kicks in. This clutch is a very important little feature. As long as the engine is driving, it's turning, it's going to drive the transmission. But if you start coasting, going downhill again, you're going to drive the transmission, but instead of the transmission being able to drive the engine, this clutch will slip. So all the power then is going through that electric motor, which is becoming a generator, and you're charging your battery. An advantage of this, if you're in normal traffic, how much of a motor do you need versus compared to going down the freeway? You don't need much of a motor in there to do that. So you can have a fairly small electric motor. What about your engine? Does it have to be very big if you've also got a little secondary motor here? No. You can have both a small engine and a small motor, but when both of them get on together, if you really need that extra power, you've got it, but you have less weight that you have to worry about, less volume taken up. So this is another system, hybrid vehicle. The last thing I want to show you is a plug-in hybrid. And this is really what we have. We charge up that battery. We can get about 30 miles before I use a drop of gas. But as soon as the gas is gone, engine kicks in, you're ready to go. All right. Remember that magic word, energy. Hopefully, having explained these three different systems to you will help you as you go down the road of life. The next time you go look for a new car, think efficiency. Madam Toastmaster.